Welcome into today's discussion about resilience. This is Ming, your man Ming, your personal Uber driver towards resilience. Just thought I would say that. Anyway, let's get into today's discussion. Again, it's based upon what I'm going to presume, not assume, but presume that we have this common quality that that I desire to express to you from my experiences, and for what I am saying connects you and I more than what can ever distract us or distance us or separate us. This thing called resilience. Now, I don't want to say this is the one over the world solution or answer to your daily challenges. But this discussion today is urgent for me. Not for me to remind you of what's important, but for me to remind myself of what's important. And that each of us being unique, independent individuals, yet also part of the collective, meaning the collective of that one entity, that one creator, that one God. However you decide to access that or acknowledge that, that's our commonality. So for me, not being a sage or a PhD level intellectual, not at all. I'm just offering you maybe a simple, elementary, maybe optimistic viewpoint on what I believe we all have within us. Meaning, tying in that commonality from how you and I were created in this world, not for this world, but in this world to deliver a message that's consistent with how we were created, why we were created. Now, you and I can never know exactly how and why we were brought forth into this world today, or decades ago in my case. But either way, we are here. Whether you believe in the Big Bang Theory or the evolution theory or the spiritual realm of what initiated us being here. Either way, from my humble perspective and from my limited exposure to lessons and challenges, successes, failures, I'm already able to relate to you what I can appreciate. Can't say understand, but appreciate that I went through certain things that have allowed me to remain here. Not just to hang out and have fun, although fun is good. Also, in me, I feel compelled to share this message with you. But firstly and secondly, to share these inferences, these examples, these observations, these communications, not just to you. Sorry, you're third on the list. The first one for me to relate the story to and forward to is to my Creator. Then to myself. And yes, thirdly, then to you. So the first two audiences, if you will, are not looking forward to applauding me or patting me on the back. Many times I think those first two audiences, my Creator and even myself, should be in service of kicking me in the butt, putting me back on track, reminding me of what I'm here to do. Now, will I ever fully understand exactly what it is that I'm doing? No. Did I know that in high school? Did I know that at West Point? Did I know that in the Army? Did I know that in the corporate jobs I had or in my other service as a employee? No. And not that it felt good to be paid for a certain level of education and skills that I was able to exhibit in the boardroom or in a battlefield. But somehow I was guided to do those things. Not that I knew anything, but I listened to what I was being taught. And maybe to my disadvantage, I asked questions about why we were doing certain things certain ways. Because somehow, maybe back then in my fledgling developmental stages, I want to understand not just the essence and do an analysis by paralysis effort. I want to understand maybe there are other ways to do it. And somehow, even back then, even as a child, I wanted to see the bigger picture before I launched into the smaller pictures, the components, the frames of what had to get done. Now, some will probably say that delayed an immediate decision. But as I mentioned probably a few weeks ago about this new concept, new is in quotation marks, new in terms of new to me understanding and realizing, oh, this thing makes sense to me and it's tied into my other underlying challenges every day about being impatient. My impatience gets the best of me more times than it doesn't. But this new lesson that I learned a few weeks ago was a simple 2-word signpost: guidance. No rush. So while I may have taken the time as a child, as a developing adult, and as an old dude, I do take that into consideration for each thing that I do. Most of the time. Can't say it's 100% every time. But that bigger picture and no rushing into something and seeing the bigger picture and then coming down to from the concept to the context and then to the content or in the details to make sure A goes to B or A goes to X and then to B. Either way, I use that metric to remind myself of what I have seen, what I missed, what I heard, but more importantly, what I listened to. And then run it through the quality control or quality assurance department of this entity called Ming. Make sure it's aligned with my creator. And then to me, again, that desire, discipline, and drive, and then tapping into that beauty that I then need to exhibit and express in my presence. Just as a reminder for me as I embark on this discussion today with you, I hope it helps you, but not selfishly, but self-firstly. It helps me to remember maybe not how I'm doing it or why, but the what. And the what every day is always about resilience. Stay present. Stay current. No matter where you are in this world, please remember, it is always 820.